it's me, Claire, again from Strange Lit Obsessions. I'm here with Janine from Grey Horror, and today we have Asha with us from Asha Plan Photography and Mycho Pictures. So Asha's going to be with us for Strange Lit Obsessions. She will be doing mood photos and prop-based photo experiences for all our attendees. So this is a chat to get to know her a bit more before the event.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate you taking the time. So for those who don't know you, can you give us a little bit of an introduction into who you are and what you do?
Sure. Yes. So I'm Asha. I am a producer with Mycho Pictures. So we do horror feature films and short films, and we have just wrapped on season 2 of Hexagon, which is a sort of horror web series. So I produce for that, and I also do I produce some other things, always horror. That is definitely my thing. And yes, I'm also a photographer. I do photography on film sets, again, horror. And I do sort of like dark, sort of moody portraits. And then for my day job, I also do light, airy portraits because that's what people want to pay for, not the dark, creepy
Not
gore
our
stuff
dark
that I like.
No, we love the dark and
Um,
scary stuff, so we're here for it.
yeah, I wish all my client base were just yeah, people like you guys, and then I'd be sorted.
Well, don't worry, you shouldn't have said that. You've opened the floodgates now. I just need to earn some money, and I'll be coming knocking at your door. Um, so, can you tell us a little bit, first of all, about your photography? When did you realise that photography first became a part of your life?
Oh, I've always been really into photography. My mum was really big into photography, so it's sort of always been around me really. But I moved to Hong Kong. I lived there for 10 years, and so I started my photography business there. I was mostly shooting comedians and actors in Hong Kong. And then I moved into sort of grungy metal, band photography and gigs and stuff. But I realized that sort of the dark, kind of moody, like kind of artistic portraits were definitely my thing. So I did a lot of that in Hong Kong. Moved back here about 2 years ago. And yeah, I've been sort of trying, but so yeah, but then when I moved back here, I kind of moved into horror film photography. Um, so I've been sort of trying to meld the two. And I think I sort of roughly do that. Like on sets, I do a lot of character portraits and, actors' headshots, and I sort of, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, try and meld my sort of horror film love and sort of photography love.
Yeah, I think that's going to really shine through when some of our guests come to meet you at Strange Little Obsessions. Because can you tell us a little bit about your setup there very quickly? Because I don't want to delve into Claire's questions too much, but you're kind of blending those two worlds perfectly. Can you give us a bit of an inside look?
Yes, so depending on how much space you give me, I'm hoping to do at least one sort of setup of haven't got it all figured out yet, but sort of like just kind of like a creepy set. Hopefully, a few creepy sets people can kind of choose, and then I mean, to be honest, photography you can often get away with quite a lot in a small space. If even if you have just like a little sort of tiny thing, you can kind of put one thing on one little bit and then get people to sort of turn slightly or whatever. So, and then I'm gonna planning to bring well, you can see my lighting setup here. And even with just a few little lights, you can make such sort of cool effects. I'm hoping to bring my fog machine and maybe my wind machine, which is a fan.
Amazing.
Um,
Oh, we're all going to have
just
like a Cher moment or a Beyonce with the hair
we
blowing. I can't
might
wait.
do. Yeah, because yeah, like people, yeah, again, just like a kind of cool kind of wind
Yeah.
effect. And I so the horror series that I worked on last week, um, we had like a blood demon, and every time she like appeared, we we had like literally just people with like big things just like wafting her hair so that she looked like she was all. So honestly, to be honest, even with like a piece of card, you can kind of make quite a good effect. So I also just want to sort of I like sort of talking about this kind of stuff with people. So I'm hoping that just they can come and chat to me and I can sort of show them all these different lighting things. And I'm also planning to bring lots of horror props, masks, weapons that are plastic.
We don't want to get banned.
Safety.
On the list.
Yeah, well, last week we had a lot of issues with security where they wanted to check that the weapons were not real weapons, and but I was like showing them a video of like one of our actors who was like playing a serial killer called Birthday Boy trying to stab a birthday cake with a foam knife, and it wouldn't even cut a cake. So I was like, you don't need to worry. These weapons are all pathetic.
That's kudos to your special effects team, though. If they look that realistic, the security are checking you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, well, we buy all these like silly guns, but then we spray paint them and we kind of paint them up to look a bit more official. And we also pick ones. Some of our shots you kind of need like. We had one last week where the magazine had to fall out. We had one on one of our feature films where the guy had to kind of like cock the shotgun. So you do kind of need like some level of so some of them do look quite realistic, especially when we've spray painted them. So I'll bring all of that stuff. And yeah, we've got everything: pickaxes, baseball bats but yeah, all plastic. So yeah, so I'll bring all that stuff. I've got lots of haunted dolls. So yeah, it kind of depends like how much space you can have for all my weird crap that I travel around with.
Hopefully we can make the space for it all because I need to see everything. What is it that's pulled you into darker and my kind of more moodier visual and creative styles?
I mean, I think I've always been a very, very morbid child. I was looking at pictures of me the other day as a kid, and like there's like ones of me in like coffins and things, and yeah, I've always been a bit of a creepy child. And yeah, it just never went away really. And then yeah, when I sort of realised that I could do this, and actually kind of hone a bit of a craft of making these sort of images and stuff. I was going to say making a career out of it, but I don't know if I've actually achieved that yet. Because I think, I think if I can blend it with my sort of more like paid work, then that would be amazing. Because I would love to do this for as my full-time gig, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And has there been a moment in your creative journey when you realized, like, if you were on a shoot or you shot a specific thing that you were like, this is it, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to throw my creativity?
It's a very good question. I had this with live music photography where just after the pandemic, well, the pandemic was sort of still kind of ongoing, but live music had been off for a while. And I remember I was backstage at a gig shooting the band. So the band were in front of me facing the audience, and the audience were all kind of like zombies, kind of like coming out and like because they've been so starved for live music for so long. They were just like literally like sort of zombies, like clawing at the kind of. It was amazing, and then people were like crowd surfing, and that one of those images made it into Tatler because it was sort of like it was quite a striking image. So that was definitely a moment where I thought like, oh my goodness, like photography can kind of really be so powerful.
No, definitely. And I remember even just personally going to download Pilot after, like, still when restrictions were in place, but it was their first test event on a micro level, and going in and going, what restrictions are lifted? I don't have to have a mask and I can hug people. And oh my God, there are bans and I can drink in a public space. This is amazing. That kind of euphoria was unlike anything else. So to capture that must have been incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I think we kind of forgot just how much we need that kind of social interaction and like in just entertainment, I suppose. I think we really took it for granted before. So I've maybe say that the good thing about the pandemic was that I hope that people now kind of really respect the arts. I don't know,
Definitely.
but
And how would you, I think you've kind of answered this already, but how would you really describe your style and your aesthetic in terms of your creativity and your photography?
Oh, I think so my sort of signature lighting, I call it color pop, and it's literally this that you're that you're seeing right now. I like to have sort of two different colors. Ideally, I have like kind of black background. It's very dark, and so it's literally just kind of the two pops of colors. And in my studio, I have it where people can literally like I can change over so fast, so you can do different kind of colors, and people can sort of say like, oh, I really like the turquoise with the purple, and with different sort of skin tones, it looks all different, and so and with different outfits, so I like to sort of so I'd say yeah, dark, moody with a color pop.
That sounds wild. I'm going to be in there like I want everything. I'm so
Like,
decisive.
she'll be like, the doors are opening in half an hour. How many pictures can I get in?
Yeah. Well, my two colours are going to be red and green, right? Because it's literally
Obviously.
my colour palette. Like I'm Christmas. I didn't mean to be Christmas, but there we are.
I mean, that's kind of what I was going for now. I feel like for my skin tone, I really like these two. But yeah,
That's
but
what
that's
made
it.
me think of it as well. It looks very Christmas. I'm here for it. It looks great. Um, is there a photo that you would really kind of identify with and you can kind of think that makes you feel powerful when you look at it? Is there an iconic image that really like you're drawn to that you can think of?
One of mine, or
Yeah, yeah,
just
or one that's like a famous one that inspires you.
I think
oh
you
my
should just do
goodness.
both.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I know with mine, I always really liked the like I just love their sort of energy of like live music sort of stuff. Like people when they're really in that zone and they kind of just I'm trying to think whether or not I've taken I think there's one on my Instagram. Uh yeah, where it's don't know why, but it reminds me of Ghostbusters because of the sort of green lighting, and he's just like the guitar is kind of shredding away. I love that one. I think that's pinned to the top of my Instagram. I'm trying to
There
think
it
now.
is. We're going to get it and drop it in over the top of the interview
Oh,
as well.
yeah. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, I'd say a lot of my live music ones. I mean, my live music photography days are kind of I live in North Wales now, and there's not that much live music around here. Um, I but yeah, I would love to get back to that really.
And what is it that you think makes a photo powerful for you in that experience?
I definitely think confidence, sort of almost when people just have this like unbridled confidence and they just don't let they're sort of almost not even aware that the camera's there. You know what I mean? They just sort of almost like see through the camera. I think that's when magic really happens, when they just have so much confidence. It just kind of um yesterday I shot a prom, and I shoot like senior pictures, like the American sort of style, and they're often because they're often quite young people. They often like they're gorgeous, but they often are quite probably just because their age. They're often quite nervous, and I feel like I just want to like say to them like just be confident because if you're kind of nervous and a bit like it just doesn't. So I think yeah, just like absolutely the more you can just not really give a fuck about the camera. I like to swear.
Swear away, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Swear
You
away.
wait till later. Yeah, I've been good for so far. You're good.
But yeah, I think I would definitely say that yeah, like just not caring about the camera and not being sort of self-conscious, which is so ironic for me because when a camera gets turned on me, I'm like, and I just can't remember how to be. Yeah, and it's funny because when I'm on the other side behind the camera, I can just like exactly tell people how to pose and like, but then as soon as the camera turns on, I'm like, so yeah.
It's so
If you
funny.
can,
I'm the same way. I spend so much of my time in front of a camera, but then if someone takes a photo of me, I'm like, goblin mode, activate. And I'm like, I can't.
yeah, I just forget how to just yeah relax and be a
How
normal
to,
human
how to
being.
be human. Yeah, it's not good. And do you have a favorite subject to photograph?
Oh, favorite subject to photograph. I mean, I really like doing character portraits on set. I love that, particularly when it's like a villain and they have like a weapon, and it's funny because they sometimes they stand there and they like wait for me to tell them, and I'm like, be your character. Just like, how would your character hold the knife? How would your character stand? How would your character pull it out? And then when they get into that mode, then all of a sudden, like they really get into it. So I really like it when yeah, almost like when they can play a part. So yeah, I love that on horror film sets.
Amazing. And what is it you think that makes horror and cosplay so unique for photography?
Well, again, I think it's the sort of the magic of putting yourself into a character, and you can just be a different character with cosplaying for, a day or whatever. Cosplaying is so fun. Like it's just so nice to just yeah play a different part. Also, the thing I love about cosplaying is that is that like other people who cosplay, preferably this like the same fandom, whatever, they get so excited. I recently took my kids to the Amazing Digital Circus, the finale, and yeah, I like made like a dress with like the abstract monster with like eyes all over me. Um, and my daughter had made like this gummy goo face and all kind. And we all went together as a group, and then there were loads of other cosplayers there, and it was just so nice. People like running over, and be like, "Oh, gummy goo," whatever, and yeah, it was just really nice, good experience.
That's so sweet, especially for her as well, because they'll remember that. Such a
Yeah.
wonderful experience. And do you have a favorite cosplay or concept shoot that you've done so far?
Am I what? Sorry, am I happy with?
No, no, yeah, the favorite cosplay or concept shoot that you've done so far.
Oh, favorite. I don't know whether I've done a cosplay shoot before. For all of the horror films that I do, um, I mean, maybe this is recency bias, but last week I had the bloodbath villain, and that shoot was amazing because I just sort of yeah had all these people sort of wafting a hair and I didn't have the smoke machine unfortunately, but and I was just saying to her like no but claw at me, like come on use your claws, and yeah it was just lots of fun. So yeah I would definitely say that was a good recent one that I did.
Oh, I can't wait to see the images come out of that. That sounds wild. So you touched on it earlier in the introduction that you're also involved with Mycho Pictures. Can you tell us what inspires you in the filmmaking realm?
What inspires me?
Yes.
Oh, what inspires me? I definitely think so I do producing and behind the scenes photography and marketing. I definitely think from a behind the scenes perspective, I love anything to do with gore and villains and sort of good lighting. That's what really gets me interested in a project. From a producer point of view, I like it when there's good organization and good funding. There's never either of those on film
No.
sets, particularly indie horror film sets. My goodness, but it's a good challenge. So
Oh,
yeah.
definitely. And can you give us a little bit of a sneak peek about what's coming next in that world?
Yes, so for Myco, we have just kind of wrapped. We're sort of 98% wrapped on Hexagon season two Bloodbath. So that is about a a blood demon that has been summoned in an 1980s high school. And then the sort of superhero kind of team, the Hexagon agents, have to kind of go in and kind of stop Bloodbath. So that's coming soon. We also have Pandemonium Incorporated coming soon, which is a panda themed. No, it's a slasher movie that's Hitman themed, and the main one has a big panda face. And then there's also I'm looking now at the rabbit mask we've just built on our kitchen table. We have like a rabbit one, a raccoon,
I
a
think I
wolf.
saw the building stages of that.
Yeah, yeah, so we're kind of in the process of building all of those animal masks. So far we have the panda and the rabbits done, and the cat, and yeah, so we're sort of in the process of building those one by one.
I love that because I'm seeing all the crowdfunding and everything and the campaigns going for Pandemonium at the moment, and it looks insane. The past poster artwork and everything looks incredible. So I'm really excited to see that all coming together for you.
Yeah, we also have the thing that I'm really excited about is we have a group of 5 mercenary women who sort of come in and sort of kick back against the animal serial killers, and they are themed on the Spice Girls, which I'm really really excited about. And I was in a charity shop the other day, and I
Love it.
saw like the Jerry Halliwell Union Jack dress, and I was like, "Ooh, I must buy that," and so I bought it, and of course I've tried it on, and yeah.
Of course you have. How could you not?
No, exactly.
Honestly, when the Ginger Spice Girl and we're like, "There's your costume," just give it back to me.
That's fantastic. That is so good. Um, okay, great. And have you got any advice for any of our guests that are coming to the event who may be nervous about stepping in front of the camera? Can you give us some words of encouragement to bring that confidence?
It's really important to just have fun. That's the most important thing. It's not serious. It's just the whole point is to have a good time. Also, I'm really, really silly and really kind of like, I won't shout at you if you pose wrong. So yeah. Yeah, we'll just have fun. And if you do feel a bit awkward, we could always start off wearing like a mask, so but yeah, but I'd say just have fun, let go, and yeah, it'll be fun.
That sounds really good. So I have one last question before I hand over to the wonderful Claire. What? Okay, so if you are to schedule a double feature in your local cinema of 2 horror films for us to get to know you, what would you schedule?
Oh my goodness. I would definitely say The Shining is my I feel like I've taken so much of my kind of like dressing aesthetic from The Shining. Like I like to, like put on like a red dress and I'd be like, oh, I look like the bathroom from The Shining. Um, I and then a lot of my like yesterday when I was shooting this prom, I was like definitely getting girls to pose like the Shining twins, but not telling them that because I didn't want to be fired. But yeah, I definitely take a lot of my aesthetic from The Shining.
I love that. Yeah,
And
can you imagine just someone stepping onto the side with a bucket? They were like, "What are they doing? Nothing. Red paint." You were like, "Nothing's going on here. It's fine.
It's fine."
being
My
bullied.
brain went a weird place.
Okay, so I'd say The Shining would be number one. Oh, yeah. And then double feature. Oh my goodness. I think I would say The Exorcist because that was definitely the film that really got me into horror. And it's still now like when I'm like lying in bed thinking of things that scare me, it's still Regan sat like giggling at what she's just done, or the little flash of the demon face, or even just before that in the film when the priest's mother is sort of stood at the top of the stairs in I think New York or something, like just so much haunting imagery there. The music, the fog, it just the poster, everything. Yeah, so I would say those two.
Oh, such a great double feature. Sign it up. Get me tickets. I want to go. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. So we're going to bring it back now a little bit to the event because obviously that's what we put you on here for as well. So what was it that made you want to be a part of it? Because obviously you saw me
Oh,
post about people getting
yeah.
involved and
Yes, well, I saw a lot of your guests are literally people in my sort of circuit. And yeah, I just felt very much like, oh, these are my kind of people. And I think something you posted about quite early on about how bigger conventions can feel very sort of overwhelming. And like I think did you mention that so my daughter has autism and we recently went to Liverpool Comic Con and she just found it so kind of overwhelming and just kind of almost just too big, too many people, too much going on, too like big and widespread. And I did just kind of think I would love to have something like this that was just much smaller, really, and more kind of like an intimate event. So yeah, I would say that sort of seeing kind of I think also like seeing the indie horror filmmakers sort of celebrated. I think that's just so lovely. Um, I feel like in the indie scene, we all work so hard and the visibility is quite low sometimes. Sometimes it feels like yeah, like we're just sort of, literally sort of morning to night, kind of, powering through all this stuff. And yeah, sometimes it feels like it's, I don't know, and that, like when you finished a project and you're like, it's done, and people are like, don't
Yeah,
care.
it's like you've done all this work, and it's like, can someone please just acknowledge what I've done? Like, yay! Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, my son's autistic. I find events overwhelming, and there's just so much going on that you're like, oh my god, like I just can't.
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
was a big part of this. So, and I love that it resonates with so many other people as well. That,
Yeah.
and I know Janine does as well. We talk about it so often. Just how many, it's been really overwhelming seeing how many people need something like this.
Yeah.
But also we get to, like you said, we get to celebrate indie horror, which we all love. We all grew up on
Yeah.
it, to be fair. Don't get me wrong, I do love my bit of Hollywood horror, but there is just something so special about indie, and I love that I have a platform to celebrate it all and kind of like shout out about you guys. I think it's incredible.
And I think the timing of it as well couldn't be better, because I think now the rest of the horror community and the rest of the filmmaking and those who enjoy going to cinema are realizing how much depth and quality is in independent filmmaking. We're starting to see that break to the forefront. I mean, goodness me, Obsession is an independent film. Like,
Yeah.
they're starting to realize that there is so much quality and talent here, and it's just wonderful for us to be able to bring that to the forefront and to celebrate those filmmakers, those creatives in every aspect of that world and genre. It's really cool.
It
Yeah.
really
It's
is.
super awesome.
So what are you most excited for when it comes to being there in September?
Oh, I am really looking forward to meeting other like-minded folk. And just sort of showing off all of my silly props and all the haunted stuff that I carry around with me that the normies don't really appreciate. They're like, why have you got 26 haunted dolls? And I'm like, why not? But I feel like people at that will will really,
We
really
are
love
your
that.
tribe. We're going to appreciate it. It's the right community. I was about to stop you when you said like all my silly props. It's like, because I know sometimes I'm like, oh, like people think like some of the things I get obsessive over are just like really a bit silly and just like what are you doing? But it's not, and I really love that this is becoming a place for people to celebrate that. And it's
Yeah.
just like, yes, we're all together and we can all enjoy our little and again our little obsessions. We can just enjoy
Yeah.
them as much as possible. And we can
And
share it.
we were saying in the interview just before as well about we've got somebody who's a paranormal investigator who's coming, and the interviewer was like, oh, I hope you don't get haunted, and I was like, we might well be. If I don't haunt that room in that film space, then you will. Between us, that hotel's going to be
So you have one of your guests is a paranormal investigator.
Yeah, and he does paranormal tours around Doncaster. So he's coming and doing a talk on this stage, and he's bringing loads of his equipment and stuff with him to show people. And we did joke about doing a little seeing if the hotel's haunted, but we joked, but I was actually being a bit serious.
I will bring some of my haunted dolls, and then he
Oh my
can.
god, yes!
I
yes,
have a
please.
lot. I'll start getting them ready.
Turn up
Wonderful.
with all these boxes of like, these are my dolls.
Only one is in a box. They're all out, but I have one that I keep contained because she's particularly what's the word? Malevolent, malevolent,
Okay.
malevolent.
You can, I mean, you bring her, but she has to stay in the box. That's fine.
I might
Oh,
just
the
sit her
box.
next to a random guest in a film screening and see if they notice. But
Could you imagine just like have a doll propped in the corner and it's like it just gets closer to people?
just keep moving them at the end of each shot. They just get a foot closer to you.
Oh,
They'll be moving themselves.
Oh God, I
oh,
laugh, but I'm going to scare someone. I know I'm a liability.
oh, I love this. It's going to be brilliant. Yeah, I can't wait for people to come along and experience your photography and just kind of get to have some fun with it.
Yeah,
Some
it'll be
photo
really
shoots are
fun.
just too serious. We need more.
Definitely.
So I'll have a little quick fire round.
Hmm.
So we have film sets or photo studios.
Oh, film set because it's less work for me.
I like that. Monsters or ghosts?
Monsters.
Vintage horror or modern horror?
Vintage horror, definitely.
This one I like because you mentioned it already, but fog machine or dramatic lighting?
Oh, dramatic lighting. Because if you don't have the right lighting, a fog machine looks rubbish.
Yeah. Black and white or colour?
Well, there.
Tea, coffee, or energy drinks?
Oh, coffee and not even tea, but not energy drinks. I can't.
No, that's
They just
fine. I'm not a big fan of energy drinks either. I'm a big tea person. But yeah, that is all of our questions for you. And I hope anyone watching, they've got to know you a bit more. If they know they can come and get a photo with you now and feel a bit relaxed, because I know me, I hate being in front of the camera. And like you said, it's always that like, oh, pose for a picture, like, what would it? And it's like, oh, so it will hopefully help people feel a bit more at ease. I know a lot of people are being excited about attendees being able to get photo shoots and get this as something included that's a bit different. So yeah, we're really excited for people just to get involved and come and experience it with you.
Yeah, no, it'd be fun. And yeah, the whole point of it is to have a good time. So no pressure.
No, exactly. And yeah, no, you've got quite a good room space as well. So yeah, I can imagine we'll get a lot in there. So it's going to be good fun.
Amazing.
Yay.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to everyone watching. We hope you've enjoyed. And we will see you in September.